I want to talk about the Chair of Providence. The Chair of Providence is that unimaginable sequence of events and incidents that makes you realize that there is a God controlling everything. And everyone will get a chance at some point in their life to intersect with the Chair of Providence. However, if you don't recognize it and acknowledge it and seize the moment, you'll miss it entirely. Such was the case today. Not missing it, but intersecting with it. You see, the Chair of Providence came across my path this afternoon on my porch. When I went out with my little picnic chair, you know, those folding chairs, and sat to get some afternoon sun before the rains come. And while I was talking to a friend and taking in the sun, it wasn't long after that, or during that conversation, that I saw a neighbor coming down from the second floor of the adjoining apartment building, carrying a chair that seemed, as far as I could see, was in excellent shape. A chair that I had had one almost identically years before in my office. And there he was, bringing a chair down the steps. Not knowing what he was doing, I immediately inquired about this strange sight in front of me, a man bringing down a chair in the middle of the afternoon. I said, "Are you throwing that away?" He goes, "I have a new one. I'm getting rid of the old one." He was taking it to the trash can. A trash can area that I never go to. And I said, "What if you're throwing it away? Would you mind if I had it? I could use that chair." And he's paused and thought for a moment. He goes, "Well, sure. Why not?" I said, "Could you bring it up to me?" And he said, "Let me go to the trash can and drop off the bag." He was carrying down in one hand a trash bag and in the other hand the chair. Both were going into the trash. I sadly have to report the trash bag didn't make it. There was no one to rescue it and salvage it. Unfortunately, it ended up in the trash can. The Chair of Providence, well, it got a pardon like that Thanksgiving Day turkey at the White House once a year. That's not going to end up on anyone's table but in a retirement turkey farm somewhere in Virginia. The Chair of Providence stopped at the bottom of his stairs and sat in the driveway while the man took the bag of Providence and put it into the trash can to be incinerated later. But the chair got a reprieve, a pardon, and I got a treasure. Because, as you see, the Chair of Providence is a Chair of Providence because my chair had broken months ago. And somehow or another, I never got another chair. I had a friend who once offered to bring me a chair from his garage. That never happened. I had other friends that knew that I no longer had a chair to sit at the table with. No one offered to give me one of their extra chairs or suggested where I might get a good chair. So there I sat for the last few months in a little folded picnic chair. I didn't really think much about it other than the fact it's a picnic chair and I really can't have anyone else to come over because I only have one chair now and it's a folding picnic chair. But then today, the Chair of Providence, I just so happen to be noticing a neighbor in the middle of my conversation coming down his stairs with that chair. Immediately, I thought when I saw the chair, wow, there is a man with a chair, and I need a chair. But that's his chair. I can't ask him for his chair. And why would I? But I saw he had a trash bag in the other hand, and I said, he's taking a trash bag to the trash bin. And the chair must be going there too. He's taking them both to their final resting place. I'll inquire and ask him to verify my suspicion. Is the chair Providence? Is it due for its demise? Well, you see, that death row march of that chair and that trash bag came across my eyesight. And in my observation, I could only pardon one and only needed one. I needed that chair, Providence. And I decided to at least pursue the possibility of a pardon if he would release that chair to me, since he wasn't trying to sell it or return it. He was simply going to throw it away. It was pardoned. It got a reprieve, and now it serves a purpose. One man's trash is another man's treasure. The chair of Providence. Are you that chair? Has someone decided that you're no good and they've discarded you? They no longer want you. They don't value you. You've lost your usefulness. You no longer satisfy them. In fact, the gentleman told me that the chair bothers him. It doesn't give enough in the back. It makes him sit up too straight. And that's exactly what I need, is a chair to make me sit up more straight. The chair of Providence was no longer satisfying the need that he had. And it thought its days were over. Can you imagine being that chair and it looks like you're being exterminated, eliminated? You're going into the trash bin. You've lost your usefulness. You are no longer loved. You're no longer needed. You're no longer even liked. They want to get rid of you. But while you're doing that death march to your final days and destiny, someone else looks. And they look at that man taking you to your end. And they ask, would you mind if I take that chair? The one that you are leaving in despair in the trash can. Would you mind if I take that chair? While I'll fix it and even repair. It's a very fair chair to me. I'll bear it. I'll care for it. I need it. You have purpose, even if someone else thinks you do not. And although your back is straight and not as flexible, the one who saves you needs someone with a back as straight as yours. You see, Chair of Providence, you didn't need to be flexible. You didn't need to be new. You just needed to be you. Because you had a purpose for someone else and a duty to do. And little did you know that God had already planned it without you even having the slightest idea of it. Your life, your purpose, your function is not over, because you are a chair of providence.